All right, guys, next up, let's take a look at number 19. So for number 19, on this one, we're going to factor it. And so I always want to start off with a GCF. And so I kind of wanted to really think about what we're doing here because it's going to help us with the rest of these on this page. And so I want to think about, obviously, we don't have a GCF in terms of numbers here, but we do have the variables there, right? And so always remember that when we're doing GCF with variables, we take out the smallest exponent of the variable. So in this case, I'm going to take out x to the third. That's going to leave me with 16. The x to the third will be gone. And I want to think about here, this becomes 9x squared. And I want to really think about what we do there, which is we had 5, we took out 3, and that leaves us with 2. And so for exponents, it's kind of always exponents when we do GCF. We're always left inside with what we had minus what we took out. And so keep that in mind, and I know you guys kind of know this, but when we get to the more challenging questions on this page, it's really going to help us to consider that, okay? All right, so then on this one, we actually need to keep going because this is the difference of perfect squares. So I can factor it some more. It will end up being conjugates here, so I'm going to leave the x to the third out front. I know it's the perfect squares because all the numbers are perfect squares. It is subtracting, so we have 4, and we have 3x, and we have 4, and we have 3x. And we have 1 plus and 1 minus. All right, and that's it. You can always check, remember, you can check your difference of perfect squares factoring with a quick fl. So if I did 4 times 4, it's 16. 3x times negative 3x is negative 9x squared. All right, next up we'll go on to number 20. And so now we can see that it's a little more challenging now because we're again going to do this exponents GCF. And so I'm always going to take out the smallest exponent of x. So the smallest exponent of x is the 1/2 power. And so I'm going to take that out front. And now what's going to be left inside is what I had minus what I took out. So for this first one, I had 5 over 2. I took out 1/2. And that is going to leave me with 4 over 2. Well, what's 4 over 2? Well, that's x squared. And so I need to do that again with the 3 over 2 power. And so you can see I'm showing my work here off to the side because these are fractions. It gets a little tough. So what I had was 3 over 2. What I took out was 1/2. And that leaves me with 2 over 2. And so that's minus 2x to the first. And then the last term there, I do need to put something there. Now, it's kind of like I'm taking out the whole term. When you take out the whole term, though, it's not gone. It'll always be left with a 1. A little trick I always kind of remind people is that when you do GCF, the terms there's no terms that inside that disappear. They all change, right? But there was 3 terms to start. When you do GCF, there should still be 3 terms left inside. In this case, there were 2 terms outside, to start. We did GCF, and there's still 2 terms inside. Now, these terms have changed, but there's still 2 terms. The other thing you can always think of is this is reverse distributive property, so distribute it back in your head. You can see that this one is going to become x to the 5 over 2, this one will become negative 2x to the 3 over 2, and this one will clearly become x to the 1/2 power. Well, now I actually see here that what's left over inside of here is actually still factorable. If you do it as x minus 1 times x minus 1 and x to the 1/2. And so that would be my final answer there. A lot of people would write this as x to the 1/2 times x minus 1 squared. I think that's also correct. So that's fine. If you want to write this as the square root of x times x minus 1 squared, that's also correct. All right, continuing on down here, we'll go ahead and do number 21. Now, on this one, both of the numbers are even, so we can GCF a 2. But I can also take out the smallest exponent of x. So the smallest exponent of x is the 3 over 2 power, so I'm going to take that out front. So by taking out the 2, the big 2, that's going to change this into a 4. I'm going to have x to some power here, and to figure that out, I'm going to do what I had, which was 7 over 2, minus what I took out, which is 3 over 2. It's going to leave me with 4 over 2, so that'll be x squared. And then the 18 here, so we're going to do, that's going to turn into a 9, first of all. And then actually that one, when we take out the whole 3 over 2, that means that x is gone. It's really x to the 0 power there, which is 1, so it's really minus 9 times 1. Okay, so once again, you can check this by distributing it back in your head. So this is going to give me 8 times x to the 7 over 2, and this one will give me minus 18 x to the 3 over 2. However, I see that inside of there I got the difference of perfect squares, so I'm going to factor that one more time as the difference of two perfect squares. So I got 2x minus 3 and 2x plus 3. All right. Next up, number 22. So for this one, I can do GCF first, and so this one's going to get kind of complicated here, but stick with me. So first of all, I can take out a 2. I know that. Now, what's the smallest power of x? That's what I have to take out front, right, is the smallest power of x. So let's really think about this. Well, we have some negative exponents here, and so the smallest one is actually the biggest negative. So negative 3 over 2 is the smallest exponent. And so this first term, the 2 is gone, so that's going to become x. Now I need to be really careful here about my what I had minus what I took out. So I had 1/2 here, and then I take out a negative 3 over 2 in my what I had minus what I took out. Well, it's actually minus minus to plus plus, and so that is going to turn into 4 over 2, or x squared. So what we see here, because you guys have been GCFing positive exponents your whole life, and you notice that inside the exponents get smaller. It makes sense then that if you GCF a negative exponent, your exponent should actually get bigger, okay? And if you just do this what I had minus what I took out trick, and you realize it's a negative negative there, it should come to the conclusion that we're adding. All right, so next up, we got the 16 is going to turn into an 8, and then x to the negative 1/2. So I had negative 1/2. I took out a negative 3 over 2. And so minus minus to plus plus turns that into 2 over 2, which is x to the first. And then lastly here, I have minus, let's see, we took out a 2, so that's going to be 20. And x to the negative 3 over 2, that is what I took out. On the one that's actually what you took out on that smallest exponent. You can kind of just do the shortcut. That one, the x is just going to be gone. It's just going to be whatever was attached to it there. Okay, so now we're going to keep going here. I see that on the inside, we can factor this some more. I can do my little x thing here, so multiplying to negative 20 and adding to 8. And that sounds like 10 and negative 2. And so I'm going to write this as 2x to the negative 3 over 2. I actually don't need to use the grouping here because if a is 1, you can skip that grouping technique and just use these numbers here, x plus 10, x minus 2. Now, if you ever have a doubt on this, I would always just say, go ahead and FOIL it in your head. So x times x is x squared. Negative 2x, positive 10x gives you 8x, and then this gives you negative 20. I'm fine leaving the answer like this. Some people, though, you could write this as 2 times x plus 10 times x minus 2. Let me write that 10 a little better there. And then put that all over x to the 3 over 2 power. That is actually another acceptable way to write that. I think WebAssign would take either one of those because we have that negative exponent here that applies to x. We can move that down to the bottom. Make sure you realize, though, that negative 3 over 2 does not apply to the 2. That should stay up top.